So, eventually it's going to get warm enough that I don't got to have the fucking heater on. It's May. I live in Northeast Ohio. I'm not like in Maine or up in Canada somewhere. It's like 50 degrees or less outside right now. And I'm late again. 2 hours late again. Should be used to that by now. I get migraines. And if I wake up with a migraine, I can't do anything until it at least starts to go away. Especially if I'm going to come do a workout. So I had to take some Excedrin, eat something, sit and let everything settle before I came down here. Always gotten them. Don't know how to get rid of them. Excedrin works for the most part. Somebody told me to do, his doctor prescribed them, prescribed them. Is that right? Prescribed? Prescribed or prescribed? I think it's prescribed. Prescribed. I don't fucking know, doesn't matter. Anyway, told him to take CoQ10, something like that. I tried that, didn't do anything. Another guy who gets like every possible type of headache you can imagine, his doctor told him to take magnesium. Magnesium did nothing but break me out in a rash. Took about 6 weeks after I stopped taking magnesium for it to go away. I remember as a kid, I remember specifically I had to take iron pills for something. So I thought maybe that was the case. I bought some iron pills. I did a little bit more research on it and realized that I should not take a bunch of iron. They should not sell 65 milligrams of iron tablets over the counter when 40 is considered almost an overdose. It's toxic. Not really an overdose. It's toxic. Unless you have an iron deficiency. And the only way to find out that is if it's diagnosed by a doctor, blood tests and stuff. May the 4th. It is May the. Is it the? No, that's tomorrow. What is today? The fuck is today? Is today the 4th? Hold on, I gotta put my fingers here. I gotta look at the date. Holy crap! It is. You're right. It is the 4th. You know what? I threw myself off. Because I just uploaded. I just edited and uploaded Monday's video to YouTube. And Monday would have been the 2nd. Because Saturday, I just did Saturday and Sunday. I just did Sunday and Saturday. So Sunday was the 1st, Saturday. It's Monday. Monday. I can't think straight. And Monday was the 2nd. And I really don't pay attention to dates anymore unless I have to. It would have been funny if I was wearing a Star Wars shirt. But those are my good shirts. My good t-shirts. I have good t-shirts. All I wear is graphic t-shirts. If you've watched any of my TikTok videos, you would know that. All you see me in is graphic t-shirts. I have a lot of them. I have extra larges that part of the reason why I started working out, I was starting to get tight. Or the extra larges were starting to get tight, and that was really making me angry. I mean, really making me angry. Those pictures that I showed of myself in my video where I was deciding that I wanted to, I'm going to get back in shape and start live streaming all this stuff. So damn loud. I've had the furnace guy out here to fix it a few times. You would think he would be like, hey, I can make this quieter for you. Or, hey, it's running good, but it's kind of loud. Want to see what the problem is? Yeah. I know, he fixes what needs to be fixed. They're one of those local people that they're not trying to sell you extra stuff, which is nice. They do a good job fixing what needs to be done. But I'd be like, hey, it is kind of running loud. I can fix that for you. It's going to be this. Not a big deal if you don't want to do it. That's the difference between local people and corporate. We're like, oh, you need louder. It's going to get louder and louder and louder. Eventually, it's going to stop, not work anymore, and you're going to have to pay thousands of dollars for a new furnace, and I can fix it for a couple $100. Difference between local people and corporate. Anyway. Lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, in my workout, my fitness journey playlist, it's the first video that I posted. So that if you go to the playlist, go down. It's part of the reason why I was deciding to do that. Putting on these shirts. You don't know, I conceal carry, and I carry right back here because it's probably the least. One, I'm sitting in my car all day long, so I'm not going to appendix carry because that's going to. No, that would hurt sitting right there. It would be like, oh, I'm not, especially if it's fat. But I found the most comfortable place where it's here. I got it tilted well that I can just stick my hand back here, and I got the handle nicely and just pop it out if I need to. Here it's too visible. So doing what I'm doing, I don't want people like freaking out because I have it on me. I'm walking into restaurant to restaurant to restaurant, dropping things off people's doors and stuff. But I never know where I'm going to be, and there was a couple articles last year that a couple of DoorDash drivers got jacked. So I don't think they were specifically looking for DoorDash drivers. I just think it just so happened that that's two of the people that got jacked, and of course the news station played on it. DoorDash drivers getting. Anyway, so yeah, I carry it every day, but I carry it right here, and unless I lean over, you can't see it. But since my shirts are getting tighter, it's starting to print more. But that's not the reason. They're getting tighter. Extra larges are getting tight on me, and it was getting really obnoxious. Like, I'm not buying double XLs. I have one double XL, and that's only because I really wanted the damn shirt. And the guy was a comic book store. He gets licensed apparel, and he said he probably couldn't get another one in large or an extra large, because at that time I was still kind of in between. So I got the 2X. I'm like, maybe it'll shrink. And I tried shrinking, and I was like kind of swimming in it. Now I'm not really swimming in it, and I'm like, oh, it looks nicer on me, but not happy about the fact that the reason why it's filling out. So I have extra larges. I have larges, which is what I would like to be wearing. Then I have mediums that even when I was in shape like 8 years ago were tight, but they look good tight. Like they were like, I was pronounced. It was like, yeah, I just want to fit the larges. I want the extra larges to still look good on me, but I want to be able to fit the larges. I like my medium shirts. I have some cool medium shirts that I'm probably just going to pass over to my son because he still likes retro graphic t-shirts. I got Inspector Gadget, I got Papa Smurf one, older, a few years older, but I can't wear them now. If I do, I look stupid, like a big fat gut kind of sticking up like this. That got on a big rant just for this guy saying, May the 4th be with you. Wow, it turned into like this old t-shirt and furnace rant. May the 4th be with you too. Sorry. Anyway, it's my day off today, so only thing I do, I gotta clean. I gotta do dishes. Got maybe a load of laundry to do. I did some laundry yesterday because I sat for 3 hours before I got an order worth actually getting off my ass for yesterday. I'm not leaving my house. I should have just left my house and went closer to the restaurants, even though the restaurants are right around the corner from my house. I'm literally, if you drive from my driveway to the start of the strip, it's like 3/4 of a mile. That I heard somebody. And my son likes to come over. He stays up all night. He'll come over just to be here, and then he'll go sleep for a few hours because he stays up all night because he works late. Not third shift, but he works late, so he'll stay up and play with video games and talk to his friends. And then when he's done with that, before he gets too tired, he'll just come over and go to sleep in his room, and then just wake him up and we'll watch like Moon Night and some movies and stuff, get some dinner, and then he'll stay up all night while I sleep. So, however, I'm sure I would have heard the door open. I'll be right back. I'm gonna check. Yeah, no. Anyway, thought maybe somebody, maybe the mailman walked by. It's a little early for the mailman to be over here. Maybe not. I don't know. It's 11 o'clock. After 11, it could be the mailman. Just walking by, talking on his Bluetooth speaker or something, or headset. You know why I'm stalling? It's because it's leg day. That's why I'm stalling. Just making sure my head's feeling right, my protein bar's settled. So, yeah, while I'm waiting for all that, just want to reiterate the fact that this is week 4. We're halfway through week 4, which means we have 1.5 weeks left of this segment of the 1 of 30. If anybody is following along, I know at this moment right now, nobody actually is, because I can't be consistent enough for people to follow along with me. Anybody who's been watching, I seriously appreciate it. Even you, Jimmy, on Twitch, wanting to put me on Twitch fails, little whatever you are, ass hat. Anyway, so if anybody is eventually following along with my videos on YouTube, because they're up there and they're going to be up there, so I just want to say I hope it's working for you. Also, I want you to remember that next week, even though it's the last week of 1 of 30, I'm just going to keep reiterating this fact. I want to make sure it comes across clear when we get to it. Week 6 is going to be recovery week on this segment. Week 5 is the last of 1 of 30. And even though everything goes up, I don't care what it is, everything goes up from 1 of 30 to 2 of 15. Every weight goes up. So if you're doing squats with the broomstick on week 5 and you're like, I don't think I can add weight to that for another day of 1 of 30. It's going up next time. It has to go up next time because you're switching gears. You have to take it up, or there's no point in switching to the 2 of 15 because it's not going to work like it does with the 1 of 30. If you take a break halfway between it, you do 15. You're like, oh, that felt better than the 1 of 30. Of course it did, because you stopped. You rested, and then you did another set of 15. But oh, that feels better. Now I can go up. Yeah, obviously, that's why we go up. So, however, you will see me next week. I am going to continue, and I want you to continue to write these down exactly as is, as if you were going to do another week of 1 of 30. So just pretend, just every week, every time you write something down, pretend the next week is a continuation of what you're doing now. So week 5, I will be like, yep, I'm going to keep that the same. I'll probably say next week I would keep that the same for 1 of 30. So I'm going to write down slashes and pluses, just like I've been doing, slashes and pluses. And then we're going to take that list, and for our new list, for our 2 of 15 list, and our first set of 2 of 15, set 1 of 2, will be the interval that you have set for yourself for the increase. So if you said no weight, like I am not increasing for 1 of 30 on this weight, I'm going to keep that, as I say, I'm going to keep that the same for next week. So if I said that, assuming 1 of 30, when I switch to 2 of 15, if my increment is 2.5 pounds, I'm bumping it up 2.5 pounds, regardless of what I said about the 1 of 30. So just like this, or with squats, where it's 5 pounds per leg, just like this wide plie squat, I said I'm keeping that 0. I'm still using the broomstick for this. I'm going to keep that at 0. For next week, I switch to 2 of 15. I am going to take that up to 10 because it'll be 5 pounds per leg. Make sense? Hopefully it makes sense. But if you just follow along with what I say, just write things down as if the next week you're going to continue the same program. And then when you switch, all your slashes become pluses, all your pluses become double pluses. That's probably the simplest explanation. And a double plus just means you're adding on twice as much. So like when I did the incline presses on Monday, I said I have a double plus on here, so we're going to go ahead 25 to 35 instead of 25 to 30, because it's 2.5 pounds per arm. So we bump that up 5 pounds total, so a double plus would be 10 pounds total. So if your increment, if your plus equals 2 to 3 pounds, 2.5 pounds roughly, then your double plus would be 2 pounds, or 5 pounds. If your plus is 5 pounds, your double plus is 10 pounds. However you look at it. Whatever you decided your plus is going to be, that's what it is. Your slash, all right, is 0. It stays the same. And then when we switch it to a 15, your slash for the first week only, your slash becomes a plus. Your plus becomes a double plus. Your double plus becomes a triple plus if you put a double plus on that. Which is, at this point, by week 5, you shouldn't be putting double pluses on. You should have your feel for it already. And you should only be at single increment increases. And then from there, when you do your first set, you start writing slashes and pluses again, and you take them as normal. I will reiterate that again each day next week just to make sure we all have that. Just in case anybody decides to watch these later on, since I got somebody still in here. Somebody still watching me. Is that you, Globe Trucker? Somebody's on my Instagram, or at least was. Yeah, so this is the second to last week of the first series, and then we'll go from there. So I am going to stop talking because I am just rambling because I don't want to do lifting. All right, so get our warm-up done. Sorry. Simple warm-up because legs do their own thing. Legs burn enough calories themselves, but they'll get their bodies warm. That's all that matters. Again, if you just want to run in place, jog, do jumping jacks, you can do that. I like doing these just because I don't have to pay attention to what I'm doing.
Hi guys, I'm Shalene Johnson. Welcome to the Turbo Jam.
Listen to the pretty lady.
We're already on the Elite 11. Now we're going to put together and burn some Big Ten calories. But before we do, I get to introduce you to my crew. This is the Turbo team. Say hi. Those are your new friends. And our girl from the South, Mindy, is going to show you how to keep everything low and fast. Keep your eye on her for modifications. And so will my friend for a very long time, Miss Anarita. Are you guys ready? Start with your
I do this because it's a warm-up slash cardio. This one's, like I said, it's kind of mild, but the other ones, if you've seen Watch Me Monday, that's definitely good cardio if you do it right. I mean, this can be also a really good cardio if you do it right. Because I'm not doing extra cardio. So this plus my 1 of 30, as long as I do the 1 of 30 correctly, without too many breaks and stopping and talking for 20 minutes like I've been doing last week, then I got like a good 45-minute cardio exercise in with light weight training. So I'm talking and messing up. But mistakes still burn calories, see? I'm not paying attention. I need to pay attention.
Last time, row. Big arms. There you go. Full arms and march. Okay, guys. Now the twist.
So altogether, this should be all the way through. Should be a good cardio slash muscle. Not real muscle training, but definitely not muscle building. 1, 2, 3. Then we get to the 2 of 15. Still going to be roughly the same thing. Mostly cardio, a little more toning, so we're going heavier weights. But there's still going to be very little weights. Rest. Very little rest in between exercises. So 2 of 15, all we have to do is really take the time to write things down and change weights if needed and change setups as needed. So it's really no different than the 1 of 30, except we'll be getting up and writing down each set. That's enough of a rest. In between the 2 of 15 sets. And then if we need to increase weight, start with the other side in most other videos. But yeah, one rest, quick rest, just enough to write down your stuff in between 2 of 15. That's all you really need. If you need to, you can add weight for your second set. So, I don't know if I said what I was trying to say. Shouldn't talk while I'm doing this. But the fact that I can talk while doing this means I'm kind of matching their pace here. Because this is really kind of this video is really just a, hey, here's how we put all these exercises I taught you how to do in the first 15 minutes of this video. This is how we can put them together to make them work. So they're really not going any harder than they need to show you. Even a couple on here that go a little bit harder than normal aren't really going harder. But during week 6, I'll be doing a couple of the cardios. Like the full cardios, they're cardio party videos, which are a little more intense. Not like like a lot. You can make them more intense. Any exercise video you're doing, you can make more intense or less intense if needed. And I'm getting warm. Today, on leg day, all I'm really worried about is getting warm. Just so I can be obviously warmed up.
Not the first time out of the gates. Again. We're gonna add the knee. Last time, guys. Zigzag knee. Lift it up. Up.
As I keep saying,
2 more.
the leg workout will burn
You're gonna jump rope.
a lot more calories
Indian Arena for how to modify this
than
to keep
this
a healthy low impact.
15-minute
Jump rope through
light
the
cardio.
workout, and I want you to be able to keep up with us, but not impact those knees. All right, we're gonna move on right away. And in this section, you're gonna see some kicks, and that's why it's very important we practice the W. Remember the W? All right, step touch, guys. Add the clap. Now bring your hands up in your guard position, and remember that your W is always between you and your imaginary opponent. So when we move to the right, let's go. Hands are up. Clap in between. Go the other way. Stay nice and low for me.
So like I can just do this, I'm not doing anything. Or I can get a little more into it, use my legs more, and that's going to burn more calories.
Start off right away with a side push kick. So keep your hands over here on the left and march right. 1, 2, 3, side push.
And then I can just do this like I've been doing,
So it's as if you're
warm me up,
knee or their ankle. It's a crushing
or
side push
you
kick.
can kind of get into it a
And
little
the knee
more.
actually comes in toward your chest and pushes away.
That'll burn more
Try again.
calories.
Now height is not important. I repeat, it is not important. What is important is
So
that
I'm
your
kind of feeling it a little more this week.
sound. So work on that before you
Go
have those
a
high
little-
kicks.
Feel a little more
Ready?
intensity.
I think we'll slow it down so you can see what I'm talking about. In, push. In, push. In,
Lose my balance though.
push. And that kick actually pushes. It's the type of kick you would use to push someone away from you. Think of pushing away. Now march and let's practice it. Side push kick. Good. These are things you're going to work on. The more you do the routine, it'll just come second nature to you. Belly button aims toward the floor slightly. Buns are up in the air a little bit. Let's do this kick now to the back of the room. You're aiming at the back corners. Nice. Do it again now. Our back push kick is really a modification.
And you
on what
just
those
want to
of
do
you
that?
who have done Taekwondo do.
Do that.
But you probably picked up already that it's the same kick as the side push kick. We're just aiming it at a different target toward the back of the room. This is safer because you're going to do a lot of kicks.
My
and
head's
also
gone.
really works the glutes. Are you guys ready? Let's do march 3 knee, hands
I'm
in
feeling
front.
it.
Knee. Good. Knee. See how my hands change position? Yeah, baby. So on my left knee lifts, my
Like I
left
said, if
fist
you watch
is
them,
flat.
this is really all of them are doing.
We're setting up for that front
Just
push
this.
kick. Push like you're pushing through a door. Good. So it's not a snap kick. Imagine you've got a bag full of groceries in your arms, and you need to push the door open. You've done that before. Same type of kick. You kick with the ball of your foot. Let's slow it down. Push. Push like you're stepping on a brake pedal. Push.
Then you have their cardio party ones, or even like some of the newer ones, right? That
Never
came up
snap
after
the knee.
this
Have good control through the quadriceps.
version.
You guys, let's practice.
You know, like
Front push kick.
good handful of them
That's all it is practice.
that are going harder than the others. You still have the two
Start it over if you didn't get the kick. Watch it until you feel very
that are
comfortable
like,
with your technique.
we're going to do it
Alright, guys,
minimum
clap it out.
so people can follow if they need to. They don't want to go as intense. Girl on the front right corner, Mindy. I know their names. Girl on the back, Ann Rita, but she does say those two names every one of these.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hands are just kind of pumping. Just learn the footwork first. Hands will come later.
But her sister, Angela,
Now we're gonna travel with
and
it.
Holly,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm at 7. I'm lifting up my W. You keep your hands on your hips.
and there's an old man. I think his name is George.
Lift up your hip bone. Go. Let's march into a roundhouse. Roundhouse nice and low. So,
I think his name is George.
you're learning this for the first time.
He's only on like 2 of
Aim
these.
as though you're trying to hit someone.
He's on the 20 cardio and the cardio party one, I think.
And with the top of your shoelaces, I'm going to slow it down for you. In, slap, lift.
But he goes a little harder.
Notice that my knee is back.
He doesn't do the moves all correct, which is kind of
This kick doesn't push.
irritated me at first.
Slaps, slap, slap, march.
Like instead of doing like speed bags,
Yeah,
he's just kind of going like this.
It's over here, right?
Same thing with the pumps and the things. I'm not paying attention anymore.
Nice.
Huh.
Nice and controlled.
It's alright, it's done
Good job,
anyway.
you guys. Clap it out. Hey.
So,
Perfect.
obviously that's not really,
On to you. Before you
I can make it more intense if I really wanted to, just by doing it more intense. I did it a little more intense than I did the past couple weeks. And obviously talking through my rhythm off of my breathing, so that's more why I'm out of breath than the exercise. But on leg day, like I said, you really only need to get warmed up. Start your process burning calories, just so you can stretch your legs long enough to, or enough to start doing the workout. See a couple quick few stretches. This one here, even if you sit down, when you pull the toes back, it also gets the calf. You can point the toes, gets the top of the calf as well. They always say don't point, they're like, oh no, you don't want to point the toes. Yes, point the toes. Pull them back, point them. It stretches differently. They're both good stretches. It's very rare that you have a stretch instructor do both. But this will shoot straight down your hamstring into the back of your calf. And then when you point them, it's still going to shoot kind of down. It's going to change directions, and it's going to get the top too. You should do both. It's a great stretch for the legs. Push it forward and lean into it. Because you can lean farther when you push your toes forward. Then it just shoots right through here. If you've never done that, do it. It feels awesome on your calf muscles here. Right behind your shin. Whew. That feels great. If I can keep my foot in the right position. It's hard to do on this thing. But oh, that feels great. You know those stretches and cracks where you're not used to getting them? It's like, oh, it's the best feeling in the world. You know, like you go to the chiropractor, he gets that like one vertebrae you couldn't get and just pop, you're like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Know what I mean, Burn? Yeah, reporter people. Know what I mean, Burn? Really just doing the same stretch I just did. It's kind of silly. Whatever. I get the quads. Pick the quads. Get them stalling. Not stalling. You have to stretch. Especially before leg day. You have to stretch. It's a light stretch. Okay. Alright. That's good enough. I'm going to start the music. My non-copyrighted Common Core, whatever the hell it's called, Creative Commons music. That was the wrong button. I'm over to my water. I'll be right back. Alright, so it's 11:40. It should be about 9:40. I should be down here earlier, but whatever. It is what it is. Alright, let's put the little glasses on. Even though I think I look better, which one do I look better in? Stalling again. Big ones? These have blue light filters. The little ones. I have round ones upstairs I just bought. They look kind of old manish, but if I wear them with a hat, it would kind of cool. Anyway, these have little nose grips on here. Those ones don't, so these ones will stay in place better while I'm working out. All right. Anyway, so this is leg day, part 1. We're starting with back squats. Last 3 weeks we just used a broomstick on them. We're doing an empty 10-pound barbell. So yeah, like I said, 5 pounds per side with squats. I know I said per leg, but per squat, because you remember, squats are everything. Squats aren't just your quads, or just your hamstrings, just your glutes, or just your, even though on the screen it does say glutes on my YouTube, it says glutes. It's just so I can separate them easier into categories. Glutes, thighs, calves. Just to make it look better on paper, it's really all it is. But you gotta remember, squats, everything from your lower back to your ankles. So 5 pounds per side is not a lot to worry about. As opposed to just doing your leg extensions, which are just quads. You know, even though it's both sides. All right, so 10 pound, 130. This one, 20 pounds. This one's like 11.6 or something like that. Close enough to 10. All right, so chilly on my neck. All right, so regular squats. Shoulder width apart. What was that, 2? That's 2. Almost lost my balance. Okay. £10, 30 reps. I'm going to keep it at 10 pounds one more week. 30 reps. Get you. And that's what it's supposed to do. Alright, so the wide Plié squats, I decided to keep that at 0 since I was increasing the back squats. You gotta remember, lightweight, fast pace, single 30 rep, single 30 rep set, more cardio. Like I said, leg day will get you going enough that you just need a quick warm up. Monday and Tuesday, well, non-leg days should be focused more on the warm-up / cardio, at least for my routine. Alright, so wide Plié squats, we're keeping that at 0. So I wasn't sure how I would feel increasing both at the same time. So, here we go. I know I'm weird. I don't care. Alright. I cannot stand this close to this bar. It's going up and down in my face. So I just have to get my feet in the right position. Now for me, I'm 5'7". My squat rack is, I think, about 3 feet apart. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't measured it. But this is 7 feet. This bar is 7 feet. It looks about 2 feet on each side. Maybe it's a full, I don't know. I don't know. I have a tape measure somewhere down here in my tool bins, or not. I know I do. I'm stalling again. There's so much shit. I know there's one in here. I know there's at least one in here. There should be a full tape measure. Where is it? There it is. Found it. I found it. Remember that? Land before time, ducky. I found it. We found you. So it's about 3 feet from middle to middle. 3 feet 8 inches. Which is half my height. Oh, just kidding. That would make me 7'6". 7'4". 3 feet. 3 feet 6. 6 feet. And then 8 inches. 16 inches. That'd be 1 foot. 7 foot plus 4 again. 7'4". I'm 5'7", bitches. But anyway, this is a good position for me. Roughly the balls of my feet in line with the squat rack. That works for me. Wide Plié squat. Feet turned out as far as you can go. If you're doing heavy weight, I recommend doing this with a partner. Someone who can stand behind you and make sure you don't fall backwards, because your weight's back here, you're going to tend to want to grip this way as opposed to this way. Unless you overcompensate for it, then you might grip this way. But if you stand normal, like you start here, you got pretty good balance. So here, and then just go down straight, make sure someone's behind you just in case. So that was 1, I'm counting that as 1. If you haven't done those, if you've never incorporated those into your routine, which I highly doubt you have, because I basically pulled those from the aerobic videos where they just had you do these wide squats. You use dumbbells, you have dumbbells in your hands, they usually do on the aerobics. They kind of do, it's a turbo sculpt. They have dumbbells and they do that. Even without dumbbells, they still do this stuff. They get the P90X Plié, they do these X stretches. They jump. They go X, you know. But if you haven't done those before, it's really good for right in here. Very good for right in there. If you haven't done them, start with zero. Start with zero weight. Add a few pounds. Add a few more pounds. Add a few more pounds. It'll also help your balance. If you notice, I started to a little bit. When I paused, it wasn't because like I paused in the regular squats. The regular squats, I was pausing because it was starting to burn my quads. It wasn't really burning in here because I was like kind of losing my balance a little bit. And, I think you saw that one like right around 27. I kind of went backwards a little bit. So it's good for balance. Start with a broomstick. Just do 15, 20 of them. So you can do it with very little swaying. Then add 10 pounds. Do that again. Then add 10 pounds. You got some good balance. Just saying. All right, so zero. Oh, right back into gear. 0 pounds, 30 reps. I'm going to take that up next time. So we'll be using the 10-pound bar for both squats on next Wednesday. All right, leg extensions. I got to set this up here. And just for my timing on my video. We had 25 pounds last week. We are going to 30 this week. So here's where I said we're going up 5 pounds because last week I was like, 35. I said 5 pounds per leg. And when I did my leg curls, I did 35 pounds, and I'm like, I can do a little bit more, but I don't think I'm gonna knock out 30 with 45. So I'm like, I'm just gonna take it up 5 pounds. So that's when I went back and said, that's exactly what I felt doing the extensions. So I'm gonna do the same thing. So I decided at that point last week, I'm gonna increase single muscle leg work by 5 pounds total, or 2.5, 3 pounds per side, just like my arms. Until I get the feel for it. Whenever I feel like I said, I have my double pluses available if I want them. So, like I did with the incline presses this week. Well, last week for this week. All right, so leg extensions. Leg extension. I forget how to say leg in Spanish. How do you say leg in Spanish? Anybody there? Somebody's there. Somebody knows how to say leg in Spanish. I forget. Is it pelo? It's not pelo. I don't know. Anyway, we need 30 pounds on this thing. That is one of these 25-pounders. One of these 5-pounders. Lay a week to get moving. I can do a plethora of southern accents. That's about my accents. I've tried since I was a kid to do any sort of a British accent, and the best I can do is hello governor, and that's it. I cannot continue any further than that. That's all I can do. That's all because I started saying like 5-pounder there like that. That's the only reason that came up in my head. Alright, anyway. Told you I'm weird. You're following me, you're weird too. Alright, 30 pounds, 30 reps. Here we go. I gotta try to make it interesting because this music sucks. It doesn't suck, it's not motivating. This is like, I want my music. And again, if I wasn't live streaming, I could play my music free on the recording. For my I can play my music, my playlist, which is all popular music, post it to YouTube, and YouTube will flag it with content claims and put ads on it, and it'll be fine. But you can't do that with live streaming. Live streaming, they can't really put ads. They could. They could very easily. You could say, hey, I'm playing live music on my live. I'm playing copyrighted music on my live. They can put ads on your screen. Because nobody clicks on the ads anyway. Sometimes they do, but that's how advertisers work. The advertisers don't pay them. They pay them for visibility. So if you put advertisements at the bottom of every screen, put that like, oh, get Progressive today for $90 or whatever. And then I can play my damn fucking corn and my Papa Roach and whatever the hell else I got on there. My Joe Esposito. It's a simple fix. YouTube does it. They put advertisements on it. All you live stream platforms put advertisements on it. Put advertisements on it. I'm doing workout. Put advertisements for protein bars or something on there. It's that simple. Fix it. And if you're watching this, pass it along. All right, 30 pounds, 30 reps. Here we go. I'm already like cool down. 2, 3, 4, 5, the key to good leg extensions is when you get up and you're like, I didn't do that, so we're adding 5 pounds next week. So we get 30, 30, plus sign for next week. Speaking of plus, you gotta go from 35, 30, 40. That's 25, 30, that's a 10 pounder. And yes, I am going to pull off the 5, put the 10 pounder behind it, put the 5 back on, because it bugs the shit out of me if the smaller weight is sandwiched in between 2 bigger plates. I don't like it. I'll sit there, well, I can't stare at it from the upside down. Comes to that little game as a kid, with the rings and the pull, the ring game, where you had the bigger plastic ring on the bottom, the red one, the orange, like the rainbow colored rings that went small. You know what I'm talking about. It's kind of a coordination game, like you gave your kid, they had to put the rings on in the right order. It's not the whole thing, we got to switch them between 3 poles, but the same concept. They got to be stacked properly, like a uniform. Like a tree, like a pine tree, or a mountain, or ice cream cone. Anyway, 25, 35, 40, we are doing leg curls. And I'm going to turn this a little bit that way. I'm going to make sure I'm still in frame though. Got to still be in frame. I noticed making my my highlight reels that a lot of times on these I'm not in frame, so. And Instagram's about to turn off, so I got to give that a second. So I'll be right back. Like, this song would probably be awesome if it had some fucking lyrics to it. Headstrong, I'll take you on. That's what the fucking song is. Such a ripoff. I know it's not the song. I know it's close enough. What the fuck just happened? Oh, when I backed out of the live to start the live again, the first video was the first thing on Instagram was a video. So it's paused the music. Saturday. Such rip-off. Alright, 40 pounds, 30 reps. Here we go. I knew when I started feeling that about 22, I thought I was going to just make it to the end. So, 40 pounds, 30 reps, staying 40 for next time. I knew I wouldn't be able to get 45. Alright. Cleaned up, then we just got standing and seated calf raises left. And then we're done. Then we can chit-chat some more if you want. There's nobody there. Is there anybody there? Is anybody even watching me? Anybody watching me? There is nobody there. Nobody doing much at all there. Nobody's there. And I'm talking to myself. Nobody's there on my life. I'm here bringing you quality content. Nobody's watching me. Showing y'all how to lose weight on a nice setup, nice program. Nobody's watching. Whatever, I'm not doing it for you, I'm doing it for me. I'm not doing it for you, I'm doing it for me. I'm not wearing this skimpy outfit for you to stare at me. I'm doing it so I feel like I'm doing it. It makes me feel pretty. Nobody's watching me anyway, so I can say what I want. Don't worry, I'm not going to say anything bad. I might say things a little off color. Off color? Off color, off color. I'm still talking to nobody. Anyway, I got people that might watch on YouTube. Whatever. Alright, standing calf raises. We got 10 pounds. We are doing 10 pounds again. We have not budged from 10 pounds. 10-pound double leg. And I say double leg because you can do a single leg too, which I will start doing if and when the weight starts getting too heavy for me to waddle my ass over there. Which I could just put the weight in front of it and step up, but there's only so much you can put on the dip belt before it becomes like uncomfortable and awkward and hard to move around. So once you get to a certain point, you can start doing single legs. Like I could do a single leg empty right now and I probably wouldn't even get to 30. So that's a nice option we have here. Without a calf raise machine, buy a 40-pound dip belt, spend about 30 bucks in wood and you can make them sing. Or you can get one online for like 30, 40 bucks too. Unless you buy a metal one. If you buy a metal one, it's going to cost you like 70, 80 bucks. However, 40 bucks and even 80 bucks for that, 120 bucks, when a standing calf raise machine is going to cost you a minimum $800. That's the cheapest one that I could find, $800. Maybe 6. That one was gone. So like 800 bucks. Other than that, you're going to spend like nearly $2,000 for a calf raise machine. So spend 50 to 100, 150 bucks. You have weights already, your dip belt, make or get a platform. And you're good to go. So here we go. Standing calf raises. 10 pounds on the dip belt, double leg. Here we go. Again, this is just for balance. I'm not like pulling myself off. Just make sure I don't fall over. It's like, have you ever stood on the edge of the bathtub? And like you kind of lean back, and all you gotta do is put your finger on the shower curtain, and it'll stop you from falling. That little bit extra, even though you're not really putting any pressure on it, all your weight is back here. And this is just really the whole. You can figure out how to do this, and then you let go, you barely fall backwards. If you're like holding on like if you're like holding on to it, all you gotta do is like lean back and just as your sit. Do it with my one finger. All you gotta do is that. So that's all you're doing here. Just keeping yourself from falling. Basically touching the bar, that's all you're doing. Alright, anyway, 30. Oh, well that's staying 30. 30? That's staying 10. Okay. Alright, 10 pounds, 30 reps, staying 10 pounds for next time. Alright, last but not least, the seated calf raise. The not fun to set up for calf. Now, the seated calf raise machine I can get for like 200 bucks. But I don't have the extra cash to do it. However, it is in my Amazon wish list. link in my bio on my TikTok. I'm talking to nobody. Nobody's watching me. See, this isn't normally the way I do it. But it'll work. I just need to make sure the seat is centered. That works. Then these. Alright, what I... There we go. Alright, so, seated calf raises. 60 pounds going up. Now, seated calf raises, I can go up by 10 pounds. That I'm sure of. So we're going to go up to 70 this time. So 20 pounds for 25 pounds on each side. It gives us 70. 25 plus 25 is 50 plus 20 is 70. There's your math lesson update. You guys are going to scream. Yell, no! No! That's like the only bit of lyrics we have in any of these damn songs. There's people talking in some electronic thing, like they're talking over a loudspeaker, a PA system in another one. I don't know what the hell they're saying though. Like background noise. Oh yeah. I forgot it. I forgot it. Not me being a pussy, it's because it's sitting right there on your knees. And if you're doing this on a seated calf raise machine, you'd have pads on it anyway. For your knees. If you didn't have pads on it, you'd be like, well, I can't use that. So I don't understand why people bitch about having pads like this thing. It's like, you're not a real man if you're using a pad on the squat. Maybe I just have a pronounced vertebrae right here and it really just digs right into it. So anyway, I highly recommend using padding where you can, especially here. This is the way you have to do a seated calf raise. I have a feeling my bench is too close. It is. That's better. One thing is, you basically got to make sure you get situated properly so that your knees are where they're supposed to be. They're not like jutting over your toes. You got to clear the bar. You got to make sure they're at a 90-degree angle. It's complicated. It works. It's just complicated, especially the heavier weights. If you lighter weights, you can just kind of shimmy around. The heavier weights, you really can't do that. So that should be probably going to hit this bar every time, but as long as it doesn't go back over it. Ferguson. There. That's better. That's it. 2, 3, always a good idea to cushion your joints. All right, so write this down. Write this down. 60, 30, going up to 70 next time. I'm dumb. That was 70. Going to 80 next time. All right, let's turn off the music. That's what you want to call it. We're done for today. Leg day is done. All right, let's get cleaned up. Okay, so I think I talked enough in the beginning. Really talked about nothing really. Usually I'm like rambling when I'm doing this stuff. Just trying to think what to say. They haven't said yet today. So I know. So I was kind of iffy when I first came up with this program to tell anybody I was doing it. Because as a guy, as a man, I felt wussy for using pink and purple weights. I felt embarrassed by buying those and lied. I had to say something because I was buying aerobic weights. You know, not like the cashier wouldn't have thought like, well, probably getting these for his girlfriend or his wife or something. Off the top of the head, I had to make sure I said, yeah, my girlfriend decided she wanted to do some aerobic stuff. You know, I'm gonna do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So, even though the question wasn't asked. So it's kind of like what I said about buying the pantyhose, you know, at Drug Mart. The lady didn't say anything. I just assumed she was looking at me goofy, so I had to say, I had to do laundry, which made it, you know, she had no clue what I was talking about. And when I first started doing this program, the first time, which is the only time, when I came up with it 2 years ago, like I said, I took what I did 8 years ago on this machine, off of this chart, and whatever I could take off of that chart and start using the bench and squat rack for. This is the chart that came with the bench. So on this machine, you can put the hand straps here, and then you can do a bench press. You can do military press. You can do front shoulder raises. You can kind of do side lateral. I mean, you would just stand here like this, and you do a side lateral raise. You can do a shoulder fly. You can do pretty much anything on this thing except for squats and calf raises. I mean, you can kind of do calf raises, but you have to have the weight, the ropes down here, and somehow hold it up like this for you to do that. It doesn't work very well. But whatever I could pull off of that, the only thing I really couldn't pull off of that is anything that was gravity driven this way. However, they do have one that's like, the cables, and you would do this for the chest, which is the equivalent of a decline chest press. So, other than that, all the pull downs and the push downs I had to do on that machine. Everything else, I switched to weights. So I revamped my thing to that, but all the same basically the same exercises, whatever. I hear noise upstairs. Whatever I couldn't finagle, I found the equivalent exercise. Like I said, this one to a decline fly. Overhead extensions with the cables this way ended up being this way. Which, by the way, I pulled that kind of off of P90X. He calls it like something like a baseball throw or something. I don't know. Throwing football. Football throws. Yeah. So I revamped it to do that, and I was like, you know what? I'm doing 3 sets of 10. That is my thing. I'm doing 3 sets of 10. That is 30 reps. And I thought about it. Some people do 2 sets of 12 to 15. They do 8 to 10. But for me, I have to do 10. That's just me. I've always done 10. I was never 8. I was never 6 to 8 person or 8 person. I was never a 12. It was always 10, 15. I always took the higher end of it. So when they said 8 to 10, I always did 10. They said 12 to 15, I always did 15. So I'm like, these are based off of 30. They're all 30 reps. There's like a 30 base. It's factor of 30. It's all a factor of 30. That's how I had in my head. I'm like, I can make a program that is 100%, almost 100%, factored off of 30. So I sat down, like, what can I do? And I'm like, well, obviously we can start with the 2 of 15. I'm like, what if we could 1 of 30? That'd be a great little just cardio routine. Just 1 of 30, just bump them out, pump them out. And I'm like, that seems kind of goofy to do 1 of 30. And I'm like, you know what? It really isn't. You're doing one whole set, 30 reps, just pumping it out. I'm like, so we'll start with 1 of 30. And I'm like, then if we move, then we can move, because I remember switching gears last time. I went from 3 to 10 to the reverse pyramid. I'm like, so we switch gears. We just bump it up. This will be like a complete, fat shedding, muscle building program. We just work our body up to the point that we're going to start building. Instead of just jumping into the building, we're going to start off just increase it, and go. I'm like, we're going to see if this works. So we're going to do 1 of 30. We're going to go to 2 of 15. We're going to go to 3 of 10. We'll go to 5 of 6. And I'm like, or 6 of 5. And I'm like, but then like 5 of 6. I'm like, what's the point of doing 5 of 6 if you're doing 6 of 5? I'm like, it took me forever to decide if I was going to continue with that and do the 5 of 6 when I already did the 6 of 5. Or should I just do 5 of 6 instead of 6 of 5? Then I thought about it. I'm like, that's one whole extra set. It's one extra set. It's extra weight, extra set. It's a whole extra set. And it's not like it's like 30 extra sets. It's a whole extra set. So I'm like, so we went from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and then we jumped from 3 to 5 because you can't get 4 to go into 30. Could do 4 and 28, just do 7. But that takes me off the 30, and I don't want to go off the 30. So I'm like, okay, 6 of 5. I'm like, cool. Then we do 5 of 6. It's the other way around. 5 of 6, and then 6 of 5, and then we will do 10 of 3. I'm like, 10 of 3 is ridiculous. That's too much. I'm like, I sat there forever. I'm like, the 10 of 3 is dumb. You can't get 10 of 3 done in a timely fashion. And I'm like, superset. I'm like, all right, so we're going to go superset. Superset will work. We'll just make sure it's set up. We go knock out 1, 2, 3, move, 1, 2, 3, move, 1, 2, 3, back to the first one, 1, 2, 3, and just go through them with no rest. That'll get you through. And you'll do all of them quick. What the fuck is that noise? I think there's some asshole sitting out there blasting his music outside my house. I know the neighbors kind of diagonal across the street. Usually late night, they're bumping shit in their cars. So anyway, we do 10 and 3, knock it out. And I'm like, should I go 15 and 2? And I said, no, that is completely and utterly ridiculous. If you thought 5 to 6 was ridiculous, and you took you forever to get okay, you thought 10 and 3 was ridiculous, and you're like, no, you can make that work. You're not going to be able to make 15 and 2 and 30 and 1. That'd be dumb. That'd be completely ridiculous and pointless. There is no way you're going to get 30 of 1 done, even with supersets in a timely fashion, and that's just dangerous. You get down to 1 and 2 reps, you are at your max, and something's going to crush your face. So, 3 is fine, because you can push out 3. If you can't get that last one out on the third one, you know that you're done, okay? Basically 3, that fourth one should be the one that you're struggling, and just that should be the one that you're putting away. You should be able to do your 3, and on that fourth one, just whatever. For that 1, 2, that third one should be like, you should be able to knock out a fourth one when you do 3. That's what I'm saying. You should be able to knock out a fourth one. So if you're doing a bench press, it's 1, 2, 3, and you should be like, I can do one more, but you're not going to, and you're going to put it back, because that one more is going to fucking fall on your face. That's why we don't do 2. That's why we don't do 1. You can do 1 to find out what your max rep is, obviously at the gym, with spotters and professionals around you. That's fine. But at home by yourself, absolutely not. No less than 3. So we're stopping at 10 of 3. And then we're like, you know what? I have to do the reverse pyramid, because the reverse pyramid just shreds the shit out of you. And it does. Because it knocks all the muscle groups out in one exercise. You start with your 1 of 3. You drop down to 1 of 5. 5 to 6. You need 6 to 8. And then 8 to 10. And 10 to 12. And then you should be able to knock out about 15 to 20 on that last one, and you just fucking shredded your muscles in one fucking exercise. That's not 1 of 30. You can't vamp that to 1 of 30. There's no way to knock out five sets on a reverse pyramid and make it work 30. So that last one is not 30. You shouldn't make it to 60 either. So that's going to be roughly a 45, I think. If you can knock out 3 on the first one, say 5 on the second one, that's what, 8? 8 on the next one, that's 16. 12 on the next one, it's 28. And you're probably going to do about another 15 or so, 15 to 20, somewhere between there. So yeah, you're roughly 45 to 50 on that one. So reverse pyramid is going to be more 45, 50 than it's going to be 30. But I'm telling you right now, if you haven't done a reverse pyramid and you're trying to get like into shape, that one will just fucking shred you. If you're close enough already. Because I did the 3 of 10, basically the same routine. 3 of 10 for 3 months. No, for 6 weeks. 6 weeks. 3 of 10 for 6 weeks with extra cardio. I did 3 or 4 cardios a day. A week. I did 3 to 4 cardios a week. Once in a blue moon, I would do 5 or 6. If I was feeling it, but typically Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or sometimes Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, which is what I wanted to do, but usually fell on for 3 days. So I was doing extra cardio. So I did 6 weeks at 3 of 10, and then I did 6 weeks at the on the reverse pyramid. That first 6 weeks, I'm like, I'm losing fat, I'm doing good, I'm starting to look good. I did that reverse pyramid, and just everything started shaping. I'm looking at my forearms, I'm like, holy shit, I wasn't big by all means, but I started getting like ripped. And then I switched jobs and fucked the whole thing up. And my hours completely changed. I went from 12 to 9 to 7 to 6 in the wintertime, where I had to get up at like 4:30 in the morning, shovel my driveway, and then drive an hour plus in traffic from Akron to Cleveland. Almost Cleveland. To be there by 7:30 when we opened. And then we had closed till 6. And then I had to drive all the way back, rush hour traffic, back here, get home at like 7:30, eat, and then end up passing out for the next 3 hours on my couch. And that's when I started going to the gym too. And I'm like, I couldn't make the gym because the gym closed at 10. I couldn't go beforehand because I had to leave before they opened. So my whole schedule got fucked up. So I tried doing it down here again, and I just couldn't get to it because I kept falling asleep. And I knew I had to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning the next day. And then everything went from shit there, and then I got complacent again. And started my cycle of gaining weight and losing weight. So, I tried doing it with just recording it. I wanted to record it, and then I would post the videos after I was done. After I finished it, I would post them, started editing them, and putting them in a file. I'm like, I'll post them when I'm done, and then I would stop. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this again. Start recording it, and then I got through the first 6 weeks. Started doing the second week, or second set, the 2 of 15, and that's when I fucked up my elbow. Now I was also doing a little bit different. I was doing all 6 of my muscle groups. I know there's 2 forearms, legs are different. There's the trap exercise, but for the most part, all the muscle groups have 6 exercises. But I was doing all 6 exercises 3 days a week, 3 times a week. So I would do chest, I would do bench press, flies, incline press, pullovers, decline press, and decline flies Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I would just split between 2 days. Now doing 1 to 30, that wasn't terrible. It took forever, but it wasn't terrible. But I'm like, you know what, 2 of 15, I can continue doing 3 days. Because there's only a minimal break in between it, so I can still get this done. As long as I get down here in time, get it done. I'm like, well, we're up in weights, and now all of a sudden I'm up in the weights. And the issue I felt with my elbow during the 1 to 30s, doing 3 times a week, just kind of gave in. And I was like, oh. And I got through that workout, because I remember it was chest, shoulders, and triceps. When I finished my upright rows, I'm like, oh, that really fucking hurts. And I'm like, so I did my traps. I did my actually no, I was doing biceps that day too. I stopped because once I picked up the barbell for the barbell curl, and I did this, shot right through there. I was like, oh, I'm done. I gotta stop. So I stopped recording, stopped doing it, and I was hoping maybe I'd give it a week or 2, it would go away, and it never went away until like I still feel it, but it's like it doesn't like I feel it every day like I did for like 3 months. It was like dead. I could move my arm. It was fine. I could use my arm. And if I was careful, I could lift things up, as long as I didn't twist the wrong way. So I revamped it this time to only do muscle groups twice a week instead of 3 times a week. I was like, I can do it 3 times a week as long as I do it. But then I do 3 times a week. I'm like, then I'm offset by the exercises. I'm like, well, I can do all of them twice a week. That'd be okay. I'm like, no, it's going to take too long. You're going to not get to work on time. You're not going to get things done. I'm like, no, we're just going to do half of it. Half of it should be fun. Just do a cardio, warm up, do half the exercises. You should be fine. Because one thing I've realized when I did it this time and last time, as long as you're getting a good 45 minutes to an hour in, you're going to lose weight. Okay, you can do it twice and go faster, burn some more calories, but you're going to eat more. So the fat's still going to. I've noticed that it's roughly the same. I was losing the first time about half an inch to 0.75. That was my average, 0.75 a week. 3/4 of an inch off of my stomach a week. That was my average. Now it seems to be my average has been a half inch doing this. So I went half inch, this time. Before it was like that too. When I was doing this 2 years ago, that first 6 weeks before I stopped, I was losing about 1/4 to a half inch. Another time it was half inch to 3/4 of an inch. Once in a blue moon, it'd be like an inch. And I'm like, that's cool. That'd be great if it was an inch a week, done quickly. But that's not even healthy. Okay, your body's, if you're losing an inch a week, your body is eating itself. Okay, you're burning that fat. That's what you're doing. The body is utilizing that fat. But if you're going too fast, your body is just like eating itself. You need to eat more. Get a healthy routine going. Eat better, but eat more. Use the, if you don't know what to do, utilize some of these apps. The best one that I think is Calorie Counter by Fat Secret. Calorie Counter by Fat Secret. It even has a community of people as well. It's got weigh-ins. It's got all the food, pretty much anything you're going to buy from whatever store. Somebody's probably put it in that app. So all you got to do is scan the barcode. It's in there. There's a few things that you might have to do, but you can put them in yourself. Take a picture of it. Take a picture of the barcode. Type in the nutritional information, and it's in there for the next time. And now everybody else can use it too. So, and there's a community. There's people that share their recipes. There's people that share their stories, just like anything else. So I would highly recommend, if you need to watch what you're eating, use that app. It will help you tremendously. There's something else I can say about it. Oh yeah, it'll also take you. It'll ask you your height. It'll ask you your age. It'll ask you. It'll ask you your height, your age, your current weight, obviously, what your goal is. Is it to gain weight or lose weight? It'll ask you how active you are in your daily activities. So if you can't just come down here and do like a hardcore, heavy hitting workout for an hour, hour and a half, and then you sit at the desk all day and say, yeah, I'm extremely active. You're not extremely active. The workout, high intense workout, is not extremely active. Extremely active would be you training, running for a half hour, 45 minutes in the morning. Your work is fast paced and you're moving around quite a bit. Then you come home and do a workout. That's active. But doing a workout for an hour and a half, and then sitting at a desk for 8 to 12 hours, and then coming home and eating dinner and chilling out with your family, that's not active. Okay, active is you taking the weekends and going hiking, going swimming, going out to do stuff, going and playing football with your friends. You're on a rugby team. That's active. Okay, so obviously be honest when you do these things. It's the only way it's going to benefit you. And they will tell you how many calories a day that you need. All right, be like, oh, I got to drop down to like 1,200 calories. I got to drop down to 1,000 calories so I can shed this weight. You need a calorie deficit, but you don't need to drop it that far. You need to be slightly under what your body needs, okay, for the day. Okay, what you've been eating, okay? If you've been eating 2,500 calories a day, you've been sitting on your ass, now you want to lose weight, well, you got to get exercise a little bit. Drop that 2,500 calories down to 2,000. and start working out. But it will tell you how much you need for your daily grind. It's even got, you can even set, go in there, look at the activities. It'll tell you how, desk work. You can change that to 8 hours, and you'll see you burn like 140 calories just sitting at your desk. Whatever the hell it is, for 8 hours, obviously that's most of your day. It'll give you total rest. Your body should be total rest. It's pretty close. And what you think you burn. There's so many different categories. Mowing the lawn has its own category. It tells you how many calories you burn for that. So it's a great app. I highly suggest you can also use it on the computer, on the website, and then the app as well. The app's nice. I'm gonna have to re-download it. I took it off because I wasn't using it, and my watch, my Samsung watch plug-in took up 10 gigabytes, which took up like all the fucking room on my phone. Well, not all the room. I still have to have my DoorDash and my stuff like that, but 10 gigabytes for a fucking plug-in. That is absolutely ridiculous. Just so we can talk to each other. I never wear it anyway. I thought I was gonna be so excited to get my Dick Tracy watch. That's what I called it when they first came out, because they were shaped the same, similar. They were. You could talk on it. I'm like, it's a Dick Tracy watch. I'm like, yes. I'm older. Sorry. We had a Dick Tracy movie that was fucking awesome back in the 90s. And Dick Tracy. A lot of the old cartoons, a lot of the old 30s, 40s, 50s cartoons were played in the 80s and 90s. Just like now, you guys have a lot of the 80s, 90s shows playing that a lot of the kids are watching. So, but I'm like, yeah, Dick Tracy watch, awesome, and I got it, and I'm like, I used it once, and it was hard. I'm like, I had to go like this to hear it, and I thought it was cool. But for the most part, my phone is with me 100% of the time. I don't need the watch. Now, maybe if I went for a run, went for a jog, and I could leave my phone in my car. I'm just wearing. I don't want to carry my, phone in my pocket. If I'm jogging, just banging around back and forth. It'd be annoying as shit. I could strap it to my arm. And they have those, obviously, for your the iPods and stuff. Similar concept. Do that. But if I was going for a run, have that watch on there, and I had to make a phone call with it, but I never wear it. So I took it off, and all of a sudden I have all this fucking room in my phone. So yeah, I'll probably put the calorie counter back on there. But if you want to have a good app to utilize for your entire thing, your activities and it's calorie counter, calories burned, calories added. It's great. Calorie Counter by Fat Secret. I recommend it. Highly recommend it. I'm done talking. I'm rambling for no reason. I have to go upstairs and clean.